Hey guys, how we doing? I don't know. We're gonna go with this. Went to a flea market this morning, antique flea market. On the way, some crap was getting thrown out. Grabbed another bike. It's a Columbia, but it's a made in the USA Columbia, probably 70s. Made in Weston, Mass. So I'll throw that into the bike's parts bin for stuff. It's got a 3-speed hub on the back. I popped the head off that board track racer because of the oil issue. Kind of easy to do. It's flathead motors, not much to it. And playing around with it a little bit. I'll wipe the cylinder out. You'll notice it's dry. Might be they got some scratching on the bottom. You can probably see it better than I do. Right dead center of the bottom. It's right where the rings meet. But if you spin her over a couple times, you'll see the oil. See the oil running down. So that's definitely rings. Fortunately, one of the guys wrote, I forget the name, I'm bad on names, that if you Google Rio small engine rings, it comes right up, and Hastings makes a set of rings for it, so they are available. So we'll pop this motor off of here. Case splits apart pretty easy. You can see right there where it bolts together, and from the oil pan you get the rod right out. Raspberry covered, no, cranberry covered with yogurt. Not bad. Yuppie food. Appreciate everybody's comments. Look at the mess of the back tire. Yeah, it's fun to ride. The handle's really nice. I was surprised how well you can kind of zigzag with the bike. It just it flows so well. What's going on? Front's bottoming out a little bit over real hard bumps. The fender will contact the tire if you push it too far, and it's probably because of the extra weight that's on the bike. But these are supposed to be like the stops. I don't know if there's supposed to be a piece of rubber over these or what, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little, like probably a half-inch thick piece of rubber. When that comes up and hits here, it will stop before it hits the fender. The rattling you heard when it was idling was just a stupid cover I got for the light. At some point I'm going to put the batteries in here and just wire the lights, but the motor's more important at the moment. I took it down the road just a little while ago too, right before this for one last Yahoo. I had to make a after I put the new rim on, I was able to adjust. I wanted to adjust the tire so that the tension on this belt was just enough so it doesn't slip on this pulley. But by doing that, this chain was flapping in the breeze, just hanging way too far. It actually, if you tried pedaling it, would actually jump over the rear sprocket. So I had to kind of get a little fancy and create my own half link, the master links right there, to take up the play from the split the difference. Is either too tight or too loose. Look at the size of that motor. It's tiny, huh? The valves are the size of my finger. So I think this motor is they're only between 1 1/4 and 2.5 horsepower. So, you know, what's this thing, 2 horsepower maybe? But probably a little bit more torquey because it's got a long stroke to it. I went to a flea market today, as I was saying, and they had there was this old, I don't know how I do my flashlight. There was this old motor that was there. It was in a suitcase, like those old you know, the old typewriters, or not typewriter, sewing machine had like the box that went over the top of it. It had that same kind of look to it, and you pop the cover off, and there was an old World War II motor, German, had like a dark green color with white writing on it in different places, and it had some like either like a pump or a generator or something was on the side of it at one time. That was removed, and it was just a motor with a fan. It had a kickstart lever that flipped out, and that would be your kick for the motor to get it going. It wasn't very big. It was skinnier than this guy, It had Audi symbols on it. It had the 4 O's in a row. I don't know, no Volkswagen symbol or anything on it, but the Audi. So I don't know what the significance of that would have been or what it would have been. But the guy wanted $200 for it, and it had a magneto on it. You couldn't tell if it had spark. It had like this hardwired cable plug over the top of it. Probably be military, you know, for weather, to run out in weather. I was thinking about offering $100, but I was about a half a mile from my truck, and I think weighed about 70 pounds altogether with the box and all. But I was thinking of using that for making a cool bike. So I didn't end up taking that. Plus I'm a cheap bastard, and I didn't want to spend $100. I didn't want to spend $50. And I started thinking of what I had for motors. I know I had a bunch of old outboards back here. And I was kind of thinking, like, what can I make with them? There's like 3 of them. There's one there, one hanging there. That one says a 3-horse Johnson. Twin. A tiny motor that is, huh? 2 plugs up in there. That motor, I think, is a Firestone. If you look at it, look at the plug. Focus, you bastard. No? Firestone. So that's a single. The only problem is all these motors are water cooled. Yeah, that one's water cooled too. I know they make some air cooled, but I don't have any. Because these aren't really worth all that much, but they got some cool looks to them. You know, even just like the motor parts and stuff, just the way they're designed, I think they would make like a really cool looking power source, you know. I always start with that. That's my try to make a drivetrain, and then build whatever you want around the drivetrain. There's a couple more here. Down here. Don't know what make that. Actually, kind of that cover looks like that Firestone that's up top. It's got the critters made a nest in it. Old 10 Williams. That's probably an Evan Root also. So another one here. So he painted white. Looks like a Johnson. See, like this one's air cooled, yeah, but it's too tiny. It's 1.75. So once I'm a little bit bigger motor. This trolling motor over here is what's it, 27? Picked it up at a yard sale. I am planning on kind of making like a hybrid. It'd be a bike with a sidecar being electrically powered, and the batteries can go under the floor of the sidecar kind of thing. And that'll be that part of it, and then do a gas-powered bike. You can run it either way. You run on electric, you can run it on gas, you run both of them at the same time. That's my thought process anyway. And then there's this motor back in here. I don't know who makes it. Tag on it. This is Marlowe pump. Manufactured Marlowe pump. Ridgewood, New Jersey. Right by where I grew up. Jersey boy. Doesn't say what the motor is though. That's all I care about is the motor. That's got kind of a cool look to it too, don't it? It's got a neat old gas tank. It's got the rope you got to wrap around the pulley to fire it up. So this has got to be 50s. So maybe make something out of this. Anything written on the tag? An address. Kennedy. 17 something Ave. I got stuff from the Kennedys. So that might make a cool motor too. It's a little on the fat side too for a bike, but who knows? Who knows what we'll create next? But you know, I just kind of want to get a power source, old looking power source, and make something cool out of it. That'd be good for like maybe even like a trike or something. You could put the motor in between. Alright guys, I figured I'd just grab the camera and while I was walking around, do a little bit of yapping. Actually, no, we'll take a walk out back. You guys got a minute, don't you? You're just watching videos anyhow. Probably one of the next bikes I'm going to build. I showed it on one of my other videos. Was a muscle bike. And actually, this one's a knockoff of the muscle bikes from the 70s. I think the Schwinn Stingrays. So, VW Darren had sent down with my parents a motor. That one right there. Unfortunately, it's just missing so many of the pieces that it was just as expensive to go get another one. So what I ended up doing was, like my Storage Wars entry there, I should have whipped it out. I should slam it down as the teaser. All right. So I ended up ordering a whole nother set. Here's the motor kit that came in there. Basically the same thing. There's the motor. They call these 66 cc's or 80 cc's. I think the kit was like $139, I think, delivered. I got the one that didn't have all the chrome on it. If I want the chrome, I'll steal it off the other motor I got from VW Darren. What they do in China, they measure cc's differently. They include the combustion chamber, which is the open space between the head and the piston. In the United States, they just measure from the stroke of the piston, and the volume of that is what they use for motor size. So that's why one says 66/80. They're all the same one. It's just the way they're put together. There's a couple more motors back here too, but there's nothing really worth it. Yeah, they're modern stuff. A little one back there. That's probably 70s. A little 2.5 or 3.5 horsepower. Can't tell from here. That's a Honda phone, or a Honda. What's this one? A 10 horse generator. Half of a generator, blown generator. What's something old though? Anyway, my train of thought is all over the place, isn't it? As far as bikes, when I order the rings, I'll probably put that bike back in here while I'm waiting for them, and I may take that kit and start cutting into this one. I'm gonna have to make the frame a little larger for that motor to fit. As you can see, it does not fit in there very well, so I'll probably end up cutting and stretching the bike probably I don't know, about 3 or 4 inches to get that motor so I could turn it sideways and get it in the right location. Should be fun to ride around on. That little tiny front tire, I just love that little Springer front end. I don't know, for some reason that stuff really kind of is a good draw for me. I just love that stuff. I don't know if just bring back memories or just the way it works and watching it. You know, it's got a lot of movement to it. That front tire probably moves forward and back about that far when you push the suspension down. Yeah. Just looks cool. All right. There you go. That's like Storage Wars. That'll be the teaser for the next video. Get ready to clean up. Winter's on its way. Blew everything out that had water in it. My pressure washer's blown out. I get the tractor ready for snow. Cleaned up all the yard after the storm. The deck had 3 inches thick of pine needles on it. That was all during this week. Van's going soon. Taking a trip to Florida with it. It's pretty much ready to go, other than antifreeze change and a couple of little things. The battery maintainer and the power strip. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hang out and watch the wildlife. Hey, flew away. Alright guys, I'll catch you later. Take care.